The Chargers sit alone atop the AFC West. How long can they stay there? Who needs this weekend's win more, the Broncos or the Chargers? And we'll break down the keys to victory along with our picks against the line. We talk about it all on this episode of the Bolt Crew podcast.
Hey, yeah, hey, it's the Bolt Crew, and we always winning. Hey, go against us, I don't recommend it. Hey, it's the Bolt Crew, best up in the business. It's the Bolt Crew, repping for the city. Macking on and off the field like Khalil Mack. They hate on us cause we keep it too real. I'm talking smack like Phil Rivers in the field. Oh, you mad again cause we kept it real? Why you mad? Hey, I'm talking smack, I feel like Uncle Dave. Hey, I bring the pain, I feel like Derwin James. I could run and gun, I feel like Herbo down the lane. I feel like LT the way I'm stiff arming these lanes. We just wanna win, we just wanna win, yeah. Ay, we just wanna win, we just wanna win, ay. Putting on for the city, putting on for the city. We just wanna win, we just wanna win, yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to Thursday edition of the Bolt Crew podcast as we get ready for Sunday's big game against the Denver Broncos. Again, the Chargers in first place all by themselves atop the AFC West. Feels good to be the king. I mean, it's been a long time since we've been in this position, and yeah, it's early in the season, but at the same time, both Charger wins have come inside the division, which is great. And so we'll say who's next. So who hasn't taken an ass beating? Guess what, Denver, you're next up on the list, and it all starts on Sunday in LA. We'll see you there. So it's going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to everything that's going on with Charger football right now, guys. It's one of those where you should feel this way as a sports fan. You wake up in the morning, and one of the first things you think about, where are my Chargers and when's the next game starting? Because these games can't come fast enough at this point, right? There are times right there where you're a team in the NFL where you're going, where do you think we're picking in the draft? Like, are we doing draft shows already and it's September? The Chargers aren't in that situation. Chargers right now are like, what's it going to take to figure out when are we hosting a playoff game? How do I get my playoff tickets? And I wonder, do I have the funds to make it to a Super Bowl? Because I have some family members need to know it's Christmas time. And we got to start figuring this thing out. It's okay to dream big. I'm going to tell you guys right now, it's okay to dream big because right now it's all that we have. Are you guys as hyped up as I am?
Super hyped, super hyped. I can't look at enough power rankings and just people talking about the Chargers enough. Everybody is talking about how good this team is, how they're the best team in the AFC West. And they're right. You know what Dave said? You know, the ass kickings are coming left and right from the Chargers. You better call PETA because we're going to be beating up on the Broncos this Sunday. All right. It's going to be a long day for Denver. Mario, I'm just hyped, man. There's nothing better than when your team is in the running for one of the best teams in the NFL. After 2 games, you can make the argument that the Chargers have looked better than every team in the NFL.
And that's the best part about it, right, is they are the team that everyone's kind of talking about right now. Like, hey, don't look out on the Chargers. Like not the Broncos. The Packers have gotten a lot of love. Obviously, the Bills are always up there. The Ravens are up there. But it's the Los Angeles Chargers that are starting to catch a little hype of, hey, maybe this can be a Super Bowl contending team. Maybe it's a team you don't really want to face in the playoffs. And maybe this is a year that Justin Herbert is finally the MVP. All this stuff, Dave, it's super exciting. And like you said, the Broncos are next up for an ass kicking. And if we can get a quick 3-0 against the division this early on in the season, man, that goes a long way.
Couldn't ask for a better start. You know, it's funny, as you say, you look at the national shows and you kind of want to know, are people thinking the same thing about the Chargers we are? You said right there, the Packers are getting a ton of praise. I understand it. All that's justified of what the Packers look like in the first couple of weeks. Well, the Chargers have played 2 national televised games. I think the thing that has hurt the Chargers is maybe the time that those games started for the rest of the country. Otherwise, people would realize how good this team is and how good they look. The fact you have a quarterback that's throwing touchdown passes, yet he's not turning the ball over. The fact they haven't even established the running game. The fact they've already had injuries, yet they keep on moving. This defense looks like it's for real. They knocked off the Chiefs, and I don't think they got enough credit because that game was on a Friday. Then you had the NFL schedule on Sunday and Monday, and all the national shows went to the most recent games. It was almost like the Chargers-Chiefs game was never available for the national media to discuss. Well, then they knock off a Raider team on Monday night on the second game of a doubleheader, and it seemed like the talk was all about Baker on Tuesday. It wasn't about Justin Herbert. The Chargers aren't getting the credit that basically they deserve, but that's fine too. And the reason that's fine is it's not college football. It's not voting. It's not people voting of what you think is going to happen. This is not USC playing games at 11:30 at night, you know, on the West Coast time, and then in at 2:30 in the morning on the East Coast where people didn't see the games. What's going to show is going to be the win-loss record and who you beat. And whenever that praise comes for this Charger team, for Justin Herbert, for Jim Harbaugh, for Derwin James, For anyone else that you want to mention that wears a Charger uniform, that's fine. Again, the bandwagon's open. You want to jump on, we're taking everybody. Doesn't matter. You can jump right on. We aren't going to sit there and stiff arm me and say, no, there's no room for you. This franchise needs as many people as they can get. And Charger fans, man, let's make room. Because I will tell you this, SoFi Stadium on Sunday, you're going to see a ton of orange. People buy those tickets way in advance in Denver because JT, our old intern, will tell you that city sucks. Denver's the most overrated city going and saying, I got to do something because I'm so bored. Let's go to LA and see the Charger game. I have a feeling, guys, this is going to be one of the few games that's going to be left this way. Outside of the Eagles, who know the same thing, the weather stinks in Philadelphia and there's nothing cool about it. Remember the scene in Rocky where he's running through the streets and he runs the stairs and everything? Dude, let me tell you, that's the best part of Philadelphia where he ran through. That place is a dump. People in Philadelphia are like, I got to get my plane tickets and get to LA. But otherwise, I think you're going to see more and more Charger fans filling up SoFi, and they're going to say this is a home field advantage eventually. And it all starts this year.
We heard the Chargers have been traveling well this year. In Brazil, they had a good amount of fans. And in Vegas, they had a good amount of fans. I expect the Charger fans to show up in droves for this game against the Broncos. Not only is it a huge game because it's a division game, there's a lot of good players on both sides of the field. The Broncos going into the season were known for having the best defense in the NFL. After 2 games, you can make an argument that the Chargers have shown that they might have the best defense in the NFL. The Chargers have an absolutely elite defense led by Derwin James. And I'm getting to the point, guys, where I think it might be disrespectful to call Derwin James a safety. He's not a safety. He's a football player. He plays all over the field. He makes plays all over the field. He's one of the few players I've ever seen in a Charger uniform that literally can play every position. I mean, it's incredible how good this guy is. I'm excited for Derwin to keep putting games together to prove that he might be the best defensive player in the NFL. We're going to start having that conversation, I think, in the next few weeks. Is Derwin James a candidate to win Defensive Player of the Year? He's going to prove it against the Broncos on Sunday. Bo Nix is 0-2 against the Chargers. He had 2 games last year that were, one was decent and then one was pretty good. They lost 34-27 to the Chargers at the end of the season. Jesse Minter wants to have Bo Nix's number again this season. What do you think Bo Nix's stats will be for this game? Do you expect the Broncos to throw it around a lot? Do you think J.K. Dobbins is going to be getting a bulk of the carries? How do you see it playing out, Mario?
Yeah, so I think first about this Broncos offense is Bo Nix has been Bo picks early on in the season, has not been taking care of the football very well. In his first 2 games in the Titans, he throws 2 picks, gets sacked. Against the Colts, relatively not a terrible game. Passing yards, either or, and both have not been exceptional. But he does get 3 in the end zone, does throw another one. But so 3 interceptions this early in the year. But Dave, the success from the Broncos so far this year has been the run game. And stop me if you heard this before, J.K. Dobbins has looked good really early in the season. I think that's been his whole career is early on. That's when he finds its success. Overall, they're 10th in rushing offense right now. And if I'm the Chargers, I'm going into this matchup. Obviously, you have JK that's going to want to dominate his former team and a former OC that's been with him for a large part of his career. You got to shut down that run game. It has to be absolutely 0. I would put all the pressure on the quarterback that's in his second year against its secondary that's really finding its footing right now. Against Tart, that's playing like one of the best corners in the league. Derwin James, who maybe a couple more pass deflections, maybe a pick, then he really is in that defensive player of the year conversation. Get him to face that 24/7 in this matchup and take away Harvey and Dobbins. I think the Chargers would be in a really good spot doing that. I think that's what Minter's thinking right here is how can I make it where Bo Nix has all the pressure on his shoulders and he has to be a top 5 QB in the NFL. That's how I see the Chargers game plan. Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, here's the deal with that Charger defense. I told you I was a little concerned on the Chargers, how they're going to stop the run after game 1 against the Chiefs, because I kind of thought the Chiefs abandoned the run, because you look at the average runs per carry were pretty good, but yet the Chiefs were saying we're going to beat you with Mahomes. They were playing from behind. Even though it was early on, if you look at Pacheco's numbers, the numbers were pretty good. And you're going, what happened to Andy Reid? Why didn't he try and establish the run? Instead, people in KC says we don't have a run game. Look, the Raiders have a running back that they drafted with the 6th overall pick that, yeah, he's elusive. But when you look at what his runs were per carry, was not impressive. And so, if my opinion is, I think the Raider running backs better than the running backs that the Broncos have. If they could handle what the Raiders did on Monday night, I think it's going to come down to Bo Nix. And right now, Bo Nix and Cortland Sutton haven't figured this thing out. Cortland Sutton against the Colts did absolutely nothing. So Bo Nix, who's in his second year and now a guy that's going to sneak up on anybody, everyone will know Bo Nix has some talent. It's going to be interesting to see how this whole thing plays out. What this Charger defense reminds me of, Mario, I said this on the show like maybe a year ago, because for people who don't know, Mario was raised in Indiana. And if you played basketball in the Midwest or you played basketball in the South, it was all about fundamentals. And what is a perfect rebound, Mario? When the ball bounces on the floor. It means all five guys boxed out and the ball bounces on the floor, and then somebody picks it up and you start going the other way. That Charger defense reminds me of this, right? The saying, just do your job. These 11 guys are just doing their jobs. This is one time I wish they would change the camera angles for some of these games. I'm dying to know what the defensive backs are doing. Josh brought it up on the last show we did about the defensive backs must be insane because our pass rush doesn't seem, extraordinary, right? We have guys that are sitting putting pressure, but you don't have the freak guys that are getting to the quarterback. Yet those defensive backs must be doing a hell of a job to put pressure on the quarterback, stop the run game. And I'd almost compare it to not a defensive line that's going towards you, but almost one that creates kind of basically a half sphere that is putting pressure on you, it closes on you, and then before you know it, the play is over and the Chargers are on the winning side of things. They've done a fantastic job. Jesse Minter has done a great job, and the big thing is, knock on wood, they're staying away from penalties. The defense is staying away from big penalties.
The defensive backs have been the MVP of the team, a group of them, right? All of the defensive backs have been very good. Even Jasir Taylor was really good against the Chiefs in the first game. We have a top 5 linebacker in Henley, who's been amazing as well. But I agree with Dave. The defensive backs, in particular, Tarheeb Still has been a guy that really has emerged as the best cornerback on this team. He's an absolutely lockdown corner so far, 2 games in. Cortland Sutton is the guy they want to get the ball to. He's been a non-factor for this season. He's averaging 33.5 yards per game. He has 1 touchdown. He basically did nothing against the Colts in the last game. They're going to want to force feed him the ball. Evan Ingram's questionable for this game. He's probably going to be out there, but he's not going to be at 100%. I think the game plan for the Broncos is going to try to get the ball to Cortland Sutton as much as possible. That is their best playmaker on that team. I like our chances. I like what we have going against Cortland Sutton. I know that there's a handful of guys on our team that can handle that. Cam Hart is a big corner. Cortland Sutton doesn't want to go against multiple guys that are ball hawks. The Chargers have some ball hawks on the back end. Tony Jefferson signs a deal with the Chargers today, which I believe is long overdue. I think Tony's proven for a while now that he should be on this team. I'm glad the Chargers made the decision to have Tony on full time. He deserves it. Besides Cortland Sutton, is there anybody on this team that you think they're going to try to get involved in the passing game?
I don't stay up thinking about anyone else really on this offense for the Denver Broncos. If there's no one that really worries me, I don't even count Sutton as someone that's shocking. I mean, his last season stats against the Chargers are good, but they're not great. I think he's always been the guy that he's mentioned as a wide receiver 1, but is he really one? Dave, I feel like he's in that Michael Pittman territory where, hey, you're really talented, you're good, but should you be the go-to guy for any team? That still be determined in this. And their offense has suffered from that early on. I mean, it really, really has. And it's led to very okay stuff. I mean, 25th in the passing offense so far this year. That's not great, Dave. Not great, especially for a Sean Payton offensive genius. So, Dave, is there anyone that you got that you're like, oh my God, I'm shaking the boots? Or is it just like, hey, I also had a banana today. So who the hell cares?
No, there's no one. I'll be honest with you. I was obviously more fearful when they took on the Chiefs. The Broncos, I'll be honest with you, look a lot worse than I thought they'd be. I thought the Broncos would be a team could this team challenge for second place? And now I don't see it. I don't see it. And I think the Broncos should be concerned. Not only did he barely get by the Titans, arguably the worst team in the NFL, had the number 1 overall pick, facing a rookie quarterback at home. They weren't that impressive. They go to Indianapolis, and they weren't impressive. I know the Colts are 2-0. At the same time, I don't know what the Colts are. The fact that the Colts are 2-0 is one of the biggest stories in the NFL. They have been shocking what the Colts have been able to pull off with that record and everything that franchise has gone through. I look at this Bronco team coming to LA, and I know there are Bronco fans that will sit there and jump in this chat. GFL to you guys. Good effing luck. That's how I feel.
Well, It's interesting you brought up the Colts. Like, nobody knows who the Colts are, right? They played a team of the Miami Dolphins that might be the worst team in the NFL. They play the Denver Broncos, who we honestly don't know how good the Broncos are. They could be an average team. They could be a below average team. Maybe they're above average. They haven't proven that they're a team that we should be worried about yet. That doesn't mean that they're not going to give the Chargers a hell of a game on Sunday. I expect this to be close. I don't think this is going to be a blowout game. The Chargers, I don't know if they blow out a lot of teams this season. If the defense continues to play the way they do, maybe they will. I'm not going to say that the Broncos are a bad team. Their defense hasn't proven to be elite yet, but that doesn't mean that they can't put out a good showing on Sunday against the Chargers. Sean Payton wants to win this game, not only because it's a division game, but because it's Jim Harbaugh. You know that there's a rivalry there. Every coach within the AFC West has a weird rivalry with each other because they're older. They're great coaches. All four of them could end up in the Hall of Fame. But Sean Payton, to me, has the least talented team offensively in the division, Mario. We just mentioned it. Cortland Sutton and J.K. Dobbins. I would take Ashton Genty and Brock Bowers. I would take Travis Kelce, Xavier Worthy, Isaiah Pacheco. All those teams have better offensive weapons than what the Broncos have. That is the reason I'm not as concerned about their offense. To me, it's their defense. Are they going to be able to slow down Justin Herbert with the elite players they have on that side of the field?
The defense is everything that I worry about and everything that's going to make this team great, right? Like, we talked about it before the season multiple times. And I remember even telling you guys, I think if you're the Broncos, you just have to score 17 points. You're probably going to win majority of your games because your defense is so good. Now, early on, they've gotten some struggles, but we've seen that with this Denver team where earlier in the season, their defense is trying to find its way. And then later on, it's become pretty exceptional. But even with this like early struggles, and Josh, I do agree with you. This is not going to be a gimme game. It's not going to be easy because it's a divisional game. And if the Broncos win this one, the talk around town is no longer panic in Denver. It is now, okay, we're on track. We just had a tough loss against Indianapolis, surprised us. We're back on track. We just beat the current number one team in the AFC West. So it is a big, big moment for Denver. I would argue more important than Los Angeles, actually, like by a long mile. I know that was something we teased early on, by far. But this defense, man, it is something where they kind of got woken up a little bit against Indianapolis. It seemed like I felt like thought they could just walk in there and just absolutely big brother this offense, and they couldn't. And Patrick Surtain, the reigning defending defensive player of the year, in week 2, he was targeted 9 times, and he allowed 7 receptions for 63 yards. Wow. He still had 9 tackles, but a lot of that came from the receptions he allowed. That was the worst among all of the secondary for Denver. The worst. If I'm Harbaugh, if I'm Roman, I'm just saying there's some weaknesses there. And I'm not as fearful, I guess, is maybe, I don't know the best term, but I'm not as scared of attacking Surtain as I was last year.
Yeah, it's interesting how teams all of a sudden you're going right at the defensive player of the year is kind of unusual, right? It's, again, not to bring up another sport, but just like in basketball, as I'll say, teams that play a press defense usually don't like to be pressed, Yeah. So all of a sudden you're going.
They can't dribble.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're going right after the number one guy that Denver has. Is an interesting way to go about it. Again, I like the weapons the Chargers have. Here's the deal. The Chargers right now, they will face the Broncos, obviously a game inside their division. We'll go through what the other teams are doing inside the division too. But guys, the Chargers pulled this game off and they start the season 3-0, 3 wins inside the division. That's the first nail in the coffin for this AFC West. I mean, that is what it couldn't go any better in any dream scenario to go 3-0 to start the season, all wins coming inside your division. So the other teams in the division, you have the Raiders, they're 1-1. They're at the Commanders. They're also 1-1. The Commanders have quarterback issues as far as injuries go. And you have the Chiefs who are 0-2 at the Giants, who are also 0-2. That's a Sunday night game. We're going to pick games later on in the show. But that's basically your division. This is the game of the division. I think every team outside of the Chargers, it feels like a must win, right? The Chargers, even if they were to go 2-1, it doesn't feel like, it's over. Everyone else right there is on high alert of going, are the Chargers about to run away with this division? Because that's how it sure feels. That's why this game, even though it's week 3, is very important for both teams, but it's more of a desperate situation for Denver. And just because you're desperate doesn't mean you play better.
No, this is definitely a desperate situation for Denver. If you were to tell us going into the season, you guys are going to win 2 of your first 3 games against all divisional opponents, I think all of us would have said, yes, we would take that. 2-1 is going to be great. But really with the way the Chargers have been playing and what you've seen out of the Broncos so far, you'd expect the Chargers to win this game and go 3-0, right? I'm not going to start crying if the Chargers lose this game, but I am going to be upset, Mario, because I watched the Denver Broncos against the Tennessee Titans, who are a terrible team. I watched them against the Indianapolis Colts, who we don't know how good they are, but they did make Daniel Jones look like a Pro Bowl quarterback. So if Justin Herbert and this offense can't take advantage of what their defense has shown, and they can't create turnovers on Bo Nix, which the other two teams have, I would be disappointed, because you know that this team can do that. The Chargers create tons of turnovers. We have the best defensive coordinator in the league. They need to cause problems for Bo Nix because he's susceptible to turning the ball over. This is a Geno Smith situation. He's going to throw you the ball. You need to catch it. The Chargers need to make turnovers for this in this game, because when they start turning over the ball, the Broncos really do not have enough firepower and offense to score 30, 40 points on this Chargers defense.
They don't at all. And that's not the game they want to play either. The Denver Broncos aren't playing the shootout game. They're playing 10-3. We'll take that and we'll go home and we'll, ride that into the sunset. That's everything they want to do. And you mentioned, Bo Nix is going to make mistakes. He's going to throw interceptions, take advantage of it, and score off those, right? And this team so far has showed a lot of mental mistakes. The biggest one, obviously, beating that Colts matchup where they hit the snapper, which, don't know if you guys know, it's not a new rule in the NFL where you can't hit the long snapper in a field goal situation. So just when they make these just mental errors, you got to jump on them. And Dave, you kind of hinted at it earlier, like this defense for the Chargers has yet to make any penalties or any type of mistakes that keep them on the field longer than they need to be on. It's mostly come from the offense. And obviously the biggest one being Hampton's fumble, but that's just a rookie in a big moment. What are you going to do? But that's the biggest thing here is just when the Broncos make a mistake, jump on it. And, I really hope that Chargers do on Sunday. I think they will, by the way. But, Denver, Dave, they're going to come with some fire. This is a team that went 0-2 against Los Angeles. If you don't think Sean Payton has that on the walls everywhere, you got another thing coming.
They're low on the walls because he's tiny. Guarantee it. It's not on our level for everyone else. I'll leave it at that. That was a short joke. That's fine. Look, I don't care. The Chargers are playing their home opener. There's something to play for. Sorry, when you're undefeated, you want to stay undefeated. They're playing their home opener. The Chargers are going to come out, put on a show. This is the culture Jim Harbaugh has created. I don't worry about slip games with the Chargers and Jim Harbaugh. This is not one of those situations. There's so many reasons to play hard and play your best on Sunday for the Chargers. I expect to see their best effort, just like we've seen in the first two games.
Yeah, so Mario does the stats for us. He busts his ass more than anybody on this show. Thank you, Mario. Something he put in our rundown is Justin Herbert's 237 passing yards against the blitz ranked fourth amongst quarterbacks this season. The Broncos defense blitzes at a higher rate than any team in the NFL. So let's take a step back. What was the problem last season when the Chargers were facing tons of pressure? You had one guy that can get open in Ladd McConkey. Now we have two in Keenan Allen and Ladd McConkey. That is such a big deal for Justin Herbert. He needs that quick pass guy, a guy that he can rely on to run a quick route and get open. When we have more time to block for Justin Herbert, that's when QJ comes into effect. I think them blitzing Justin Herbert a ton, which they will do, is going to be a benefit to the Chargers. We need to give flowers to Trey Pipkins. We used to rip him on the show all the time, just like QJ. He was awesome against Max Crosby. I believe he only allowed 2 pressures. If he can play 75% as well as he did against the Raiders in this game, the Chargers are going to win.
They're going to win handily. Like, I think it's going to be a domination if they can get that. And he got a little bit of touches last game, but it's like I'm just excited for more. Trey Harris. I'm excited to see if he just gets a little bit more action. Because like you said, on those quick action plays, those quick passes, on those blitzes, he got 2 of those last game. And maybe that's 3 this game. Maybe that's 4 this game, Dave. A little something like that kind of get you going downstairs. Like I think I'm excited to see the develop with him throughout the season.
I think you haven't seen all the Chargers' weapons. I just don't think you have. Again, you have some rookie receivers in there that we expect to see some things. Even Will Disley only had 1 reception last game, and we know he's a guy that Justin Herbert will get the ball to if he's available. Keenan Allen coming back to the Chargers has changed this offense dramatically. It just has. It's another weapon that you can count on. Whereas before last year, Ladd was obviously our number 1 option and still's number 1. But the fact that you have Keenan, who has put it together such a fantastic career and has made you, thank God 2 games in a row that he's here opens things up for everybody else. I don't think the Chargers have come close to using the weapons they have to basically move the ball up and down the field.
I love that you brought up Trey Harris. That's the guy that I'm looking for as well, Mario. He's a second-round pick. He's a guy that you're going to rely on. Ladd McConkey is a second-round pick. He's now our best receiver on our team. Keenan Allen, I don't know if you guys saw the clip that the Chargers posted, but it was something along the lines of him being mic'd up and saying, if you want a first down, throw it to me. Like, it's not hard. If you need a first down, throw it to Keenan Allen. And I couldn't agree more. Keenan Allen is just such a fun player to watch because there's nobody that's worn a Charger uniform that I've seen that can get open more often than he can. At this age, he looks like just as good as ever. He's going to get open when you need him on third down, third and Keenan, fourth and Keenan. He's going to be a guy you rely on. But if you have plans on winning the Super Bowl, you're going to need more than Ladd, Keenan, and QJ. We need Trey Harris to step up as well. When you look at the other side of the ball, Mario, Khalil Mack, we dodged a bullet. He's not going to be out for the year. He's going to be out for a few weeks. The Chargers made a signing today of Cleveland Farrell. Dave, do you know who Cleveland Farrell is? Do you have any idea who that guy is?
I'll never forget Mike Mayock telling everybody we're going to shock the world, and the Raiders go and draft him. And I was like, whoa, you did shock the world, but not in a good way. Like, what in the world are you doing? I mean, that was kind of like the beginning of the end for Mike Mayock right there with the Raiders. Is he was the guy that he hung his hat on. Unbelievable. Huge disappointment. Huge disappointment.
Yeah. So Cleveland Farrell, number 4 overall pick for the Raiders. Do you guys remember who the other 2 defensive linemen were on that Clemson team?
Better than Cleveland Farrell.
A lot better than Cleveland Farrell. They had a 66% chance of having a good pick, and it didn't go their way. They could have had Christian Wilkins to start his career, not the weird Christian Wilkins that they had at the end. And they could have had Dexter Lawrence, who is possibly on the way to the Hall of Fame for the New York Giants, who's an absolutely awesome player. Cleveland Farrell joins this Chargers team. He started 10 games last year for the Commanders. He had 3.5 sacks. I don't expect a ton out of Cleveland Farrell, but if he can be on the same level as like a Bud Dupree, I think that's a major win. If he can play up to that level, I think it's a major win for this team while Khalil Mack comes back from injury. Let's also not forget we have Caleb Murphy on this team who looked very good in the preseason, and you have Kyle Kennard who struggled a little bit in the preseason, but he is the reigning defensive player of the year from the SEC. I would like to see him get some opportunities, Mario.
I'm with you. I want to see him get some opportunities. And shout out to the defensive front that stepped up huge. I mean, Hand, Tart, and Caldwell. Pretty damn good last game, right? They're huge in the rushing game. Looking back at it, I believe it was Tart where his pass rush was awesome. Now on the ground, let's throw those stats out the building. But if those guys can continue, Dave, to kind of shoulder the weight of the pass rush, I think Chargers are in a pretty good spot, especially with Bo Nix. And Broncos front's pretty damn good. It's a lot better than Raiders, where the right side, send my nephew in there. Off there, he's had a little, what is it called? A little sip of a Sprite, but he's getting through. Guy's a freaking bowling ball. But anyways, it's going to be a tougher challenge for them. And I know we talked about it ad nauseum, we said it over and over again, but like this does need to be a moment where Tui does come through as the number 1 pass rusher. But we'll see with these defensive tackles have been great.
I'd like to see it. I absolutely like to see it. That was there's a quick breakdown as far as this game, that what's going to happen. Just want to remind everybody, we will be back after the game. We'll be doing a post game just like we always do. Have the cigars ready to go. We're looking for this team to go 3-0. Should be very exciting. It's gonna be, again, it's always gonna be a great weekend in the NFL. There are a couple games out there that are absolutely outstanding. Do you guys want to get to picking the games?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, you ready to pick the games? All right, Mario had a big week last week. Mario had a terrible first week, and unfortunately, Mario had to take a loss on Thursday because he didn't get his pick in time. So you automatically get a loss if you can't get picking. But he did pick the other games. So this is how it finished up. Last week, Mario, you bounced back with a 10-6 week. Okay, we picked with the spread. Mario's now 15-17 on the season. Josh, you were 7-9 last week. You are also 15-17 on the season. I was 10-6 last week. Decent week, not as good as a week before, but I'm 21-11 on the season.
Nice.
Nobody's in shock. I'm never in first place. Like, this is a big deal.
I think this was just me and Josh just didn't want to give you anything.
It never happens. So we've been doing this since 2022, and I never get off to a start like this. So I'm going to sit there and enjoy it. But here we go. We're going to go week 3 on our picks right here. We're going to start off with tonight's game. We have the Buffalo Bills hosting the Miami Dolphins. Right now, the Bills are favored by 11.5 points against the Dolphins. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I think the Bills blow them out. Possibly the best team in the NFL against possibly the worst team in the NFL. Bills by a lot.
That numbers came down a little bit, maybe because of the defensive injuries by Buffalo. But Josh Allen's going to own Miami Dolphins on the front stage. It's going to be a complete domination. But get ready for the Tyreek Hill freak out tonight. That's probably minus 1,000, but that's going to come across our screen.
I'm going Bills as well. I have not picked a Thursday night game correct yet, but I'm going Bills also with you guys. Next game up on the schedule, you have the Minnesota Vikings. J.J. McCarthy hurt already. J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings are favored by 2.5, hosting the Bengals, both teams without their starting quarterbacks. Carson Wentz, which is always crazy that Carson Wentz keeps signing with other teams, yet he always finds a chance to play. Like, he is bad luck. Like, you have Carson Wentz on your roster, your starting quarterback's going down. This is a tough game, guys. You go ahead, make your pick. Someone else. Mara, you go first.
I love Minnesota in this game. I absolutely love it. Jake Browning won the game for Cincinnati last week, but boy, were those plays bad where he turned the ball over. When I think there's 2 backup QBs, Josh, I try to lean on who's the better coach team and whose roster do I like better. Well, both those go to the Minnesota Vikings direction, not Cincinnati. So I'm going to go Minnesota.
Kind of took the words right out of my mouth there. The Vikings have a better team. They have a better coach. Jake Browning, I do think, is better than Carson Wentz. But like you just said, the team in general for Minnesota is probably better. I'm going to go with Minnesota.
I'm with you guys again on this one just because Minnesota's defense is so good. And Browning, again, last week had 3 interceptions when he got a chance to play. Next up on the schedule, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers favored by 1.5 over the New England Patriots. This game's in New England. I saw a thing the other day that said Aaron Rodgers has never won a game in New England. I'm going to go with Mike Vrabel and the Patriots. I don't think the Steelers guys are as good as maybe we thought. I think the Jets are just that bad, and the Steelers barely pulled that game out. Steelers were embarrassed last week against Seattle. I'm going Patriots at home.
I'll go opposite as you. I'll go Steelers. I think this Patriots team's not that good. Mike Vrabel's awesome. Drake May's pretty good. But as a team, I don't like New England that much.
I'm so struggling to find out what Pittsburgh is. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh here. But, man, I don't know. And the Aaron Rodgers record, that's very funny that he's been that bad. But, like, how many times has he even faced New England? I guess with
times.
the Jets.
2 times.
Jets,
oh,
yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, did he never face them with the Packers?
Probably not a lot,
know.
though.
I got 0-2 is all I got.
I'll look it up.
In New England.
Oh, in New England.
Yeah, it's a big caveat. So that's my point. Is I don't know how many times he's played in New England outside of New York.
It says, hey, I don't know. 0-2 in New England. Yep, you're right.
Okay. All right. I didn't look that up. I heard it somewhere. All right. So you 2 guys are the Steelers, I have the Patriots. Next up, it's the Colts minus 4.5. Colts are at the Tennessee Titans, and I don't know how good the Colts are. I'll go first. I'll take the Colts.
I'm going to go Titans. I feel like the Titans play a little bit better this week. Colts are riding their high horse, no pun intended. I think the Titans cover.
Okay, so I probably think Colts win, but I love a Titans cover. These games are always insanely close. And if you look at the past couple of matches where it's been in Tennessee with the Colts, I know rosters have changed and yada, yada, yada. You can yell at me about that. But 3-point game, Titans win in the other ones. Like, these games are usually close. And at some point, I know Mike G's yelling at us to don't sleep on the Colts. I'm gonna keep sleeping on them. I think I'm gonna stay on this take. I'm gonna be really late to the party on them, and that's fine.
Okay. Next up on the schedule, it's the Jaguars. They're hosting the Houston Texans. Jags are favored by 1.5. You guys go ahead. Who wants to go first?
I don't understand this line. Mario, can you explain it to me? Why are the Jaguars favored?
I have no idea. I'm with you on it though, but go off, King. I don't know.
Texans, right? Like, how? I don't understand it. So I'm gonna go Houston. I think Houston's a good team. I think the Jaguars are not a good team. My favorite moment of last weekend was when Trevor Lawrence told Liam Cohen to mind his business. Thought it was great. I'm going to go Houston.
I'm all over Houston. CJ Stroud is 3-1 against Jacksonville in his career. And if you want to look further into stats, he's averaging just under 293 yards per game, around 2 touchdowns per game. His completion percentage is about 68%, 1% from it looking really, really good. He has dominated them over and over again. This Texas team has struggled, but it's also been very tough games. And they are still very, very good. And like you said, I'll take a guy yelling at his coach on the sideline and them posting the loser post-game speech. Don't know what that was all about. I hate everything about Jacksonville. Brian Thomas Jr. is probably like request a trade maybe soon. I don't know what's going on over there. Let's go Houston. Let's go Texans.
I'm going Texans as well. This game is going to be weird when the Jags win, and we're all going to say we knew something was up. Like something's fishy. It seemed like your brain would tell you Texans, and yet the Jags are favored by 1.5. Next up, it's the Falcons. They're favored by 5.5. They're hosting the Panthers. They're at the Panthers. Falcons again favored by 5.5.
Yeah, I'm going to go Carolina. I'm going to go Carolina to cover. The reason why I'm going to go Carolina is they look terrible for the beginning of the last game. They look pretty good at the end of the last game. It's a home game. They probably feel like they need to win this game. The Falcons did not look impressive at all against the Vikings. Michael Penix especially didn't look very good. Drake London was a non-factor. I like the Panthers to cover. And McMillan, by the way, is the real deal. The receiver over there, he's one of the few players that has played well.
That was a really good move by them. Looking back at it, I hate that number more than anything. 5.5. Like just slap my mama instead. Give me the Falcons. I think. Maybe Bijan runs a little bit.
I'm going Falcons as well. Gonna go Falcons. Here we go. Eagles. To me, this is the game. It should be the Sunday night game. I don't know why it's not. Eagles are at home. They're favored by 3.5. They're hosting the Rams. Remember, the Rams Eagles was the closest the Eagles came to losing a playoff game last year. Again, 3.5 is the number, and I'm gonna go the Rams on the road, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to go Eagles. Jalen Hurts is yet to throw a touchdown pass this year. Charger fans have to love that. I think the Eagles put it together a little bit more in the passing game, and they cover the 3.5.
Rams, baby. Can't dodge it. Ram it. But A.J. Brown, I bench him in fantasy this week, and it's scaring me.
There you go. That's a lot of traveling for the Rams to fly to Nashville, fly back to Philadelphia. That's a lot going on. Plus, it's the early game. That's interesting. All right,
quit
Bucky.
You're crying. You live in LA and you're rich.
Okay. I don't know.
Quit you're crying.
How about Sean McVay ripping the bottom of his foot? You see that?
No.
Ripped his plantar fascia underneath his arch. Can you imagine tearing your arch and then having to stand as your job? That's pretty tough. All right, here we go. Buccaneers favored by 6.5. They're hosting the Jets.
Go Mario.
I guess Bucks, but I don't love that. That's a teaser game, by the way.
Who's quarterback in the Jets?
Tyrod Taylor.
I'm gonna go Bucks. I like Tyrod Taylor, but I'm gonna go Bucks.
He's another guy. We're talking about someone that always gets a game as a backup. Tyrod Taylor will always start at least 2 games for you as a backup QB.
Remember, he tried to start for the Chargers and they tried to kill him.
Yeah, remember that?
Don't you remember you're a backup quarterback, Tyrod? Yeah.
Who are you going with, Mario? You got Bucks. I got the Bucks. I mean, Josh has the Bucks. I have the Bucks. What do you have, Mario?
I have Bucks.
Okay, you got Bucks as well. Okay.
Yeah.
You said teaser game. All right, Commanders favored by 3.5. They're hosting the Raiders.
What do you got, Dave? You go first.
I got Raiders. I'm going Raiders in this one.
What's the reason? No good reason?
No good reason. Not sure where Jaden Daniels is at. That's my main reason. If Jaden Daniels was 100% healthy, I'd go Commanders, but I'm not sure where Jaden Daniels is.
I'm going to go Raiders. Have a bounce back game, too. I'll go Raiders.
Raiders.
Okay.
That means Commanders going to win like 40.
Here we go. Big point spread in the NFL right here on this one. You have the Packers. They're favored by 7.5. They're at the Cleveland Browns. Mario, go ahead since you hate the Packers so much.
Under. That's what this game screams to me. I mean, it's going to be a pretty brutal game. Give me the Browns. It's Browns hosting it, right? It's in Cleveland.
Yes.
Oh, baby. Yeah, give me the dirty little under and let me talk sweet to you as I take plus 7.5.
Go Green Bay. I think this Browns team is in the same situation as the Jaguars. It looks like they're falling apart at the seams. Jerry Jeudy is an Alabama guy. I like him. He needs to stop talking. Like, you're not winning. Just keep your mouth shut. I think the Packers blow them out.
Dude, I'm going with you as well with the Packers. Look, no offense to teams that have the color brown in their uniforms, but like I was just watching before the show, I was watching the Padres and Mets play, and I was like, if you're the Padres or you're the Browns, every time you take the field, you have to look across the other side and going, man, those uniforms are a lot better than ours. Like the brown is just ugly. The brown's an ugly color.
Do you see they're doing a matte brown?
It doesn't matter.
No, I mean, I'm just saying it doesn't look that good. Like, it looks cool, but it looks better than what they have. But I agree. They got to like rebrand. Like the Browns.
You can't.
Not
Your name's
good.
the Browns. You went with an orange helmet. Like I told you, when I was a kid, I thought my TV was jacked. I was like, the helmet's orange. Like, what's wrong with their TV? And then I realized they really orange helmet.
I think they should rebrand. Like
What?
Cleveland. They should rebrand like Cleveland
Steamers.
You know,
Yeah.
or pick a different colors. You know, Cleveland Blues.
Well, they want the Browns because the owner's last name was Brown.
Oranges. That's in the ballpark.
Oh my God. That's their problem. That's their
Wait,
problem.
is the owner even still kicking? Is he still alive?
No, it's Lerner who's bad luck. Everything that dude touches is bad.
Then
His
yeah, what are we
brother
doing
was
here?
the governor of Tennessee. It was terrible too. Yeah, the whole family's a disaster, except they know how to make money. All right. Seattle Seahawks, they're favored. I got the Packers. Seattle Seahawks are favored by 7.5. They're hosting the Saints. I'm going Seahawks. I tell you, my goal is not pick Kellen Moore and the Saints the entire season.
Yeah, I'm going to go Seahawks too. This is Spencer Rattler's first away game in his NFL career, I believe. So I'm going to go Seahawks.
I love the Saints here. They fight. They're not
Really?
good, but they do fight. They play into the end. Actually, they play into the end right now. I bet by week 16, that message is going to die very hard. But as of right now, those guys, they're going to play their asses off.
All right, I got the Seahawks. Josh has the Seahawks, and Mario has the Saints. Almost to the end here. 49ers, they're favored by 2.5. They host the Cardinals. A tough game. Mac Jones is playing quarterback for the Niners. Cardinals play tough, but do the Cardinals have enough?
I'm going to go Cardinals. I think the Cardinals cover in this game.
So I just be fully transparent. I just had all my NFL notes. I went back a page and I accidentally clicked on my UFC one, and that just really rattled me. I almost wrote off Dominic Reyes' freaking stats. Yeah, I like the Niners.
You like the Niners on that one. All right.
Yeah,
You know what? I
Niners.
think I'm going to go Niners just because the Niners are at home. Otherwise, I'm really not sure. I would not bet this game at all. Next up, the Chiefs. They're favored by 6.5. It's the Sunday night football game. I think the Chiefs are going to see the best of them. Giants can't play any defense, obviously. I think the Chiefs win this game and are impressive doing it. I'm going Chiefs favored by 6.5 on the road.
Yeah, the Giants have a great pass rush, but besides that, their defense is really bad.
Terrible. Outside of that pass rush, terrible.
It's terrible. I think the Chiefs blow them out. They're going to look like the Chiefs in this game. I think it's the biggest blowout of the weekend.
Also, where was that pass rush against Dallas? Like, did they all just take that game off? Like, what the hell is going on?
It wasn't working.
It wasn't
I don't know
working.
what this is, but it's not working. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how, but it's not working. Give me the Chiefs. I think that's going to be pure domination, mean fashion. It's my survivor pick of the week, too. Shout out to the fellas in the chat on that one. We had Cowboys last week, and boy, did I sweat through like 3 pairs of underwear in that game, brother. Holy hell, that was a sweat fest.
Dude, I was talking to a girl the other day who's in the opposite of a survivor league. You have to pick the losing team every week. Have you ever heard of this before? Instead of picking the team that you think is going to win, that you have to pick the team, a guaranteed loss team every week. By the way, they picked the Chargers week 1 against the Chiefs, but then you can buy back in one time. You can buy back in one time during the season.
Can you ask her if I can join? I would love that.
I've never heard of such a thing. Yeah, how about that? All right, Monday Night Football. This is
by the way,
game.
you just completely skipped Cowboys Bears. You know that, right?
Oh, I did. All right, you're right. I did. All right, Cowboys Bears. This is the one I wanted to hear from Mario. Actually, Cowboys are favored by 1.5. They're at the Chicago Bears. Mario, you go first.
Well, the monsters of the Midway are not monsters anymore. They're just like little kids running around with nothing to do. They're the worst in yards allowed per play. They're 27th in rushing defense. They're 22nd in passing yards allowed, and that's after facing a J.J. McCarthy. Cowboys offense is actually pretty exceptional. Dak Prescott, if they weren't such a disaster, he'd be like the early on MVP conversation with how well he's been playing, especially in that last game, obviously. Eberflus revenge game, people forget, hashtag never forget. But his defense is terrible. They're 30th in the passing game. They're 30th in yards allowed per play too as well. They're 23rd in the run game. It's going to be an over. This is Caleb. If Caleb Williams doesn't look good against this defense, he's never going to look good in his career. It's just not going to happen. So I think it's going to be a higher score than people think. It's going to be like an ugly high score though. And I believe that the Chicago Bears win this game, and I can't believe I'm saying that, but I'm going with the Bears, and I don't feel confident about it, but I think they can beat them. Actually, no, I'm going Dallas. Dallas.
Oh, you son of a gun!
Dallas. I'm going Dallas. Yeah, the Bears are just a bad team, right? They have so much talent on that team. They just never put it together. I like Dallas putting up points in this game. Like Mario, so that offense has been prolific so far, especially against, well, they really weren't that great against the Eagles, but against the Giants, they were good enough for 2 games. They were so good. Yeah. I'm going to go.
Dak didn't even throw a touchdown pass in the first game against the Eagles.
But like against that defense, like, that's like not bad. No. With how good that defense been looking.
I'm going Cowboys as well. All 3 of us are taking the Cowboys. And you already have the head coach of the Bears calling out Caleb Williams, basically being a half-ass quarterback in practice.
Okay, that's just not really what he said. I had to cut that like 3 times yesterday.
Explain to me, what do you say?
He was saying that the whole team needs to be better. And he included everyone. And people asked, does that include Caleb? And he said, yes. And he said the process of what they're doing in practice has not showed up on the field on Sunday. And Caleb even agreed to that in his press conference. I was shortly after.
Okay, let me tell you. Right now, Ben Johnson has shown me 3 weeks in a row he's not head coach material. I'm sorry. 3 weeks. 3 weeks in a row. Number one, he didn't know the rules in week 1. 2 is he went back to the place where he made his bones and was completely embarrassed and was cussed out by the entire crowd in Detroit. And then here he is, he's calling out his players in practice. Dude, that's on you as a head coach. You're the one setting the tone. Jim Harbaugh would never have this kind of press conference. When we talk about culture, this is one of those where it's a culture thing. If guys aren't working hard in practice, that's on the head coach for allowing it. I'm sorry.
Can I tell you, but Dan Campbell will, and he comes from that coaching tree. And I'm not Caleb Williams apologist anymore. I gave up on that one, but I am still on Ben Johnson. So I'll circle back with you on December. I think by December, this team's going to look a lot better.
All right. Brandon Staley came from McVay's coaching tree. Doesn't mean jack to me. 2 different people.
Okay.
All right. I'm just saying.
He also only had 1 year with McVay, right?
I'm saying he's Josh McDaniels. He's an OC. Right now, I'm kind of disappointed.
Okay. Also,
all right. I expected more.
December 3rd. We'll hop on.
Okay, here we go. Monday Night Football. Finally, this is a great game. It's the Ravens. They are hosting the Lions. Ravens are favored by 4.5 in this game on Monday Night Football.
I got the Lions to cover. I don't know if they win, but I got the Lions to cover.
Oh, I love the Lions in this spot. Give it to me all over. Ooh.
I'm gonna go opposite of you guys just to change it up. I'm gonna go Ravens. Ravens, I didn't think I know score-wise was impressive. Derrick Henry disappeared when I thought Derrick Henry was going to come back with a giant game in game 2 after being the guy that was the reason why they lost the game to the Buffalo Bills. I thought it was going to be the Derrick Henry show on Sunday, and it wasn't. I think Derrick Henry on national TV as a giant game. It's the only way the Ravens are going to win this game. All right, here we go. Finally, and I think this point spread's jacked. I think basically it's a disrespect game right here for the Chargers, and I like this game if I was a guy that's putting money on it. Again, gambling's illegal on the West Coast. I would go with the Chargers are favored by 2.5. I'll make my picks first. I say the Chargers not only win this game, Chargers win this game 34-14. It's a lot.
Wow.
Damn.
Right. No messing around.
Who are your players of the game?
My player of the game is we're going to go Still, and we're going to go with Hampton. Hampton's going to be the one that's going to break out in this game. We're going to establish the running game.
I like it. What do you got, Mario?
I mean, that is just really hard to. Sorry, I'm writing down your quote. Follow up that one. I have 21-20 Chargers. So Broncos cover. I think it's gonna
21-20. You don't
I think
have
it's
them
gonna be a
covering?
tight game. I think it's gonna be a really tight game.
You don't have them covering. You're picking the Broncos to cover.
Yeah.
Okay. Woo.
Who are your players of the game?
My players of the game, offensively, I think it's Keenan Allen. Side thing for betting, because I just thought this was outrageous. Keenan Allen's found the end zone in each of the last first two games of the season. Last time he faced the Broncos, in the 2 games, 2 touchdowns total. He is plus 220 anytime touchdown scorer. It is just that easy sometimes, folks. I mean, that's who Herbert looks for. If there's a 3rd and goal, let's say it's on the 10, it's going to Keenan Allen. It always was going to Keenan Allen. So just at that price and just that observation, boy, I love that bet. So Keenan Allen's that, and also my player to watch. Probably going to get Surtain on him a lot. If he can kind of beat him one-on-one and we can have exposed Surtain in 2 weeks in a row, that's going to be huge. And defensively, I have 3 guys. It's Han, it's Tart, it's Caldwell. They have to be really big in this run game. In order to shut that down and put it all on Knicks, they have to provide pressure in the passing game and have to stop it on the run game, clog up those holes, and let the linebackers make some plays.
Like it. I'm going to go 21-19 Chargers.
Ooh.
I'm going to say that the defensive player of the game is going to be Cam Hart. I think he gets an interception in this game. Cam Hart is a very tall corner. Cortland Sutton is a very tall receiver. I like Cam Hart going against Cortland Sutton. Like I said earlier, I think they're going to try to force feed Cortland Sutton in this game. Offensively, I'm going to go Najee Harris. I think Najee Harris looked very good in the last game. I think he continues to roll in this game. Chargers are going to try to establish the run with both Hampton and Harris. I am curious to who gets more touches in this game between the two of them. I think Najee finds the end zone and Chargers win 21-19.
Well, so neither one of you guys are picking the Chargers to cover that spread. I thought this was an easy one, but I thought it was disrespectful when that spread came out, but obviously I was wrong. You two guys are saying Broncos will cover the spread, but the Chargers win the game. All right. Look at that right there. We want you guys to obviously get your scores in, predict what you think your score is going to be. Make sure you get it in on either here or you get it through the YouTube comments. Always curious to know how smart our audience is. I think in the history of doing the show, we've only had one person ever nail an exact score, and Josh did it, right? Did a couple years. Twice you've done it?
Or
is that just
I was about to say, I
the,
feel like he's done it a couple times.
what was that? You done it once or twice?
Twice. I've done it twice.
Oh, I thought you were giving the victory sign. Like,
I am.
I don't know. You and your gang signs, I can't keep track.
Well, ever since I left MS-13, I just can't stop.
Can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there you go. All right, got two quick things off the top of my head.
We're just going to disregard the chat today.
Yeah, we can do the chat, or we can sit there and we can sit and do the chat after the rant, whatever you want.
Nah, well, let's hear the rant. I feel like it's going to be good today.
The rants
Yeah,
aren't great. It's just 2 things on the top of my mind. It's as we do the show today, it's September 18th. A buddy of mine has a birthday. Guess what? A buddy of mine had a birthday yesterday. A buddy of mine will have a birthday tomorrow. Josh's birthday is coming up in a few days. September, there's so many people who have birthdays. They're all over the place. The difference is when a buddy of mine has a birthday, I always have it in my calendar. I never miss a birthday. I think I'm really good at this part where I wish people a happy birthday all the time. And if you have a phone where you just put it in one time in the contacts, it should show up every single year. You should never miss a birthday. It doesn't take a lot of time to wish someone a happy birthday. On Facebook, it's my favorite thing about when I have a birthday, that people wish me a happy birthday. I kind of like it. I'll tell you this, though. As I sit there and I wish people a happy birthday, it seems like every damn day in the month of September, I realize there are people on here I don't like. And I just think the charade of wishing people a happy birthday is kind of a joke. And I know I'm not the only one like this, where you're like, why do I keep wishing this person a happy birthday? I've been doing it for years, yet we had a fallout, I think, years ago. They stopped considering me a friend. There are times where, hey, we were really close, and I probably should have been in your wedding, but I wasn't. And then feelings get hurt, but yet I still wish you a happy birthday. So, you know what? Enough with it. This is the new me. Leaning forward after the month of September this year, from now on, if we are no longer really friends and we only talk to each other when it's our birthdays, we're done. And if anyone ever reaches out to me that's known me for 50 years and said, what happened? I'll tell you what happened. Our friendship didn't mean jack to you. I'm not going through the charade anymore. I don't want to do it. I want you to get the hint that we are no longer friends. And it's not just one-sided. the charade of wishing people a happy birthday that you just don't even care for anymore or check up on them. F it. Life's too short. And yeah, I got time to write happy birthday, wishing you all the best. I don't mean it. I straight out just don't mean it. Don't care, don't mean it. All right. That's my rant right now for the birthdays. The other thing I'm gonna say is right when the show started is Clayton Kershaw announced his retirement. Okay. Tomorrow is going to be his last start at Dodger Stadium. Okay, against the San Francisco Giants.
We're in the playoffs.
But he's not going to start a game at home. It's going to be over, Johnny. It's going to be it. So the Dodgers finished their home schedule this weekend against the Giants, and they go on the road against the Diamondbacks. Seattle. I think his last game will be in Seattle as a starting pitcher, but he probably won't get a start in the postseason. Anyway, Clayton Kershaw, people want to sit there and take shots at him and everything for what happens in the postseason. Got it. The guy honestly is one of the best pitchers of all time. Three Cy Youngs, MVP award. Overall, his ERA is the best since 1920. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. Before Jackie Robinson, the guy's been a fantastic player. One of the coolest things that as we're doing the show and I have the TV right behind the screen is it's the biggest story in sports at this very moment that he announced his retirement. Dude, he's on the field right now at Dodger Stadium pitching to his kid. You know what I mean? And he's just sitting there being a dad. And for someone, obviously, I do the show with one of my sons and playing baseball and pitching balls over and over again. It was the best part of my life. And so good for Clayton Kershaw, good for anyone that is a great dad out there that sits there and understands what time is important, what time isn't. Because every media source wants a comment from Clayton Kershaw right now. And he's like, no, spending time with my kid on the field at Dodger Stadium is what I want to do right now. So good for him.
Yeah.
Pitching balls.
For him. He stops playing he never plays in October anyway, so it works out for him.
You son of a gun. You're going to hit him now? You son of a gun.
He's all-time great, obviously. I'd say congratulations, but he's never going to see this, so whatever. Cam Teague 85 999 says, Dave, am I crazy for feeling I shouldn't have to stop for a school bus when they're picking up kids, especially when the kids getting on the bus have more facial hair than me? Go Bolts.
Dude, let me give you some advice, Cam. No joke on this one. If a school bus stops and that stop sign comes out on the side of the bus and you go by it, dude, the ticket is ridiculous. Like, do not take a chance on that. Do not do that. That is you're going to regret that one big time. I don't know for the people who live in San Diego, there's a thing, Mario, that they've come up with where they're charging $10 an hour to use a parking meter when there's an event downtown. Like the Padres play downtown San Diego. So it's $10 an hour to park your car. All right. So if you go to a Padre game, let's say game starts at 7 Friday night, it's a big drinking night. It's always a beer night. And let's say you get there at 4:30, you walk out of the ballpark, let's say at 11, having a good time. It's always the best outdoor bar in San Diego. How much money did you just spend in parking? You spend a lot of money, right? Dude, it's literally cheaper not to ever pay for parking. Just get the ticket. It's a $48 ticket if you don't pay for parking. It's like over $60-$70 if you decide you're just going to go have a good time and pay the meter. Don't ever pay the meter. Just take the ticket. It's awesome. So stupid, the city. The city can't do simple math. So dumb.
All right. AK 499 says Madison Beer 2-0, Haley Steinfeld 2-0. Their men's teams are balling out. They're both badass. And can they keep it going throughout the season? Who will have a better record, Uncle Dave?
I don't even know who Haley Steinfeld is. Who is that?
Josh Allen's wife.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know. Did you know, Mario? I didn't know.
I did not. I was sitting here thinking I didn't want to look it up, but I was like, I know it, and I didn't know it.
Look, I didn't even know Madison Beer was, so she started dating Justin Herbert.
You
guys know?
Josh, have you ever heard her music? I've just found out she's a musician. I thought she was just.
I didn't even know that either. I thought she was an Instagram model. I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Has anybody here heard her music? Does anybody care?
No.
Yeah. I mean, we all know why.
No, that goes to my take, dude. It truly does. If you want to make it in the music industry, you got to be hot, guy and girl. You got to be hot. If you're not hot, then you're probably really good. Adele is amazing.
She's good looking now, I feel like, right? But back in the day, not so much.
Yeah, it's a tough. I mean, that Marcus King guy. I mean, tough look, hell of a performer, hell of a musician.
Yeah.
I don't even know
So
who
wait,
that
what was
is.
the question? Wait, what?
Right? Lil
Who's
Wayne.
Marcus King?
You're not a good-looking
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
Hell of a
Yeah.
rapper.
Holy
All right. So the
cow.
question going back is who's going to have a better record? The Chiefs or not, excuse me, the Bills or the Chargers? Who do you think has a better record?
The Bills are going to have the better record. They play in a crappy division.
Yeah. They have 6 easy wins.
I think the Bills end up with the number 1 seed, the AFC. Chargers number 2 seed though, AK right behind them. Who knows? I don't know anything. AK 499 bold prediction. So if AK says it's a bold prediction, it has to be really crazy, right? Here we go. Bold prediction. Tooley's coming out party. He's going to have 3.5 sacks. Defense is going to rise up and hold the Donkeys under 21. Chargers win 27-17. Let's go 3-0 headed to the Big Apple. 3.5 sacks. But
Jesus.
I can't even say anything, Mario. He's been correct.
He's been right
lately.
nonstop. He's been right for a month. Like I'm about to call him after the show for stock tips. It's crazy.
I already did.
My financial advisor is AK.
Dude, if he has 3.5 sacks, we got to give him something. Like I'm sending you $100, AK. If Tooley gets 3.5 sacks, I will Venmo you $100.
And he'll send it right back to you and ask a question.
Yeah.
That's fine. All right.
AK, send me your PayPal. I won't send anything to you, but just as a friend.
Eddie Ramirez 199 says Madison Beer or Haley Steinfeld. So you guys got to look her up then. Which one would you take?
I'm gonna go Madison Beer. I don't know what she looks like, but I'm going Madison Beer because she's our guy. She's with our guy.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, she's in Hawkeye.
What?
She's an actress.
Oh.
She's acting like she's in love with Josh Allen for Josh Allen.
She's in Marvel stuff.
Oh, is she really? She's a big star?
Yeah. And she was in Sinners too.
Okay. Hope you enjoyed Buffalo, New York. That's where every famous people want to end up. Famous person wants to end up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Madison Beer. For sure. AJ.
She's a singer.
Eduarte.
What did you say?
I think she's a singer.
Oh, I thought you said senior, like she was in high school. Like what?
Yeah,
she's
an actress
she
and a
sings
singer.
too.
Okay.
I mean, wow. Dude. Oh, I have another. I'll say this for the end of the show. I have another big surprise for you guys.
Okay. I didn't know we got the first surprise, but okay.
AJ Eduarte 499 says finally caught you guys live, but from a 39-year-old Bolt fan, love the content. Oh, I'm sorry. Here we go. Finally caught you guys live from a 39-year-old Bolt fan, love the content and been following since last season. Keep it up. Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Appreciate that. That's
EJ.
awesome. He's been suffering with us all. Yeah.
Mike G, $2 says winning is everything. No arguments in chat in 2 weeks. Well, Mike G's the one starting arguments, so I think that's partly you, Mike.
Yeah. Mike's like nothing to see here, yet he's sitting there lighting fireworks and throwing gasoline on top of them. What are you talking about?
That's unreal, Mike G. I love
classic.
That. Justin Herbert 199 says 1,000 on Falcons, Chargers, Cowboys, Seahawks. Prove it. Prove it. Apple Crew Pod.
It's a big bet. I don't know if that's safe or smart.
Yeah. What would that pay off? Yeah. Wow.
All right. I'm going to make one comment before we get out of here, if you guys don't mind. Zaire Franklin from the Colts made a comment on a recent podcast saying that Justin Herbert is definitely not top 5, and he'd much rather play with Baker Mayfield. Chargers play the Colts on October 19th. Very excited about that. That's all I have.
Yeah. A little too high confidence being 2-0.
Dude, remember that. You know what I mean? It's one of those you're like, okay, the North remembers. All right, that's fine. Do you think you're going to kick our ass when you come in there with your little white uniform and we're wearing our brand new all mustard uniforms with our mustard socks? I don't think it's going to happen. Stupid.
Not so fast. Also, that guy's hurt all the time.
Wow.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Why would you call out the guy that actually has the ball in his hands? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, dude, he's literally has the ball in his hands every play. Why would you motivate him at all?
It's like the guy that who was the Browns corner last week that said Derrick Henry's not hard to tackle.
Yeah,
that's what you want to say.
Yeah.
If I'm the coach, I'm like, what do you shut up? Shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Say that about a rookie. Jake Brown, he's a loser. It's fine.
Oh my god,
You
dude.
know?
Yeah, and Kyler Murray, dude, could you be more out of touch? By the way, this week, good God,
What? What do you
wearing
say?
the Michael Vick
Oh
Virginia
my
Yeah.
Tech
God.
jersey with the dogs. Like, dude, what are you doing?
That
Guy
was
only ended up
crazy.
in prison for it. What are you doing?
Dude, I love how he was like, it had no correlation. I didn't
Yeah.
even notice. It's like,
Oh, yeah, sure.
someone had to.
Yeah.
Come on,
Why
brother.
don't you wear? Yeah, no kidding. Why don't you wear OJ Simpson goddamn jersey doing commercials for steak knives? Are you insane? Stupid guy, you're dumb.
Yeah,
He never won
not
jack,
smart.
and he has a weird body. I don't trust guys whose torso is the same length as their legs. What's going on there?
I don't know, but
You know,
fantasy wise, I need him to play pretty damn well.
weirdo.
So let's keep that going.
All right, are we
Jesus.
done?
Oh, my surprise.
Oh yeah, what's your surprise?
So, have you guys seen this Charlie Sheen doc?
Not yet.
Yeah,
I'll never
I've seen
watch
a
it,
lot. I've
actually.
seen a lot of it, dude. It's exhausting. He's exhausting.
Oh, I was on the contrary. I loved it. I had no
did you
idea
know the whole
about the
story
guy.
when it was going down? I mean, you were young when everything started to hit the fan. Did you know the
So-
whole story? Was there anything you learned? Like, there's nothing in there that I didn't know.
Okay, so that's where we're on different ends. I couldn't have known less. I had no idea his dad was Martin Sheen. That was rocked me. I
You know
had
his
no
brother was?
idea his brother was the coach of the Mighty Ducks.
Oh my
Shocked me. I
You didn't
was
know him and Emilio
rattled.
Estevez were brothers? Went to Santa Monica High
Dude,
School together? Did you know
I
they
had
went to high
no
school?
idea.
You know they went to high school with Robert Downey Jr.?
No
Same
clue.
school?
Like, dude, everything to me was jaw dropping. Like, I was like, oh,
What's
this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I
you were
had no
young.
idea. I didn't know the 2.5 Men. He was making $2 million an episode. I truly thought when he was kind of going through his problems and was out in the open, at the time I thought, oh, he's just having a good time and it's like kind of getting away from him. That's what I thought was the end of it. I had no idea the winning. I didn't know like anything about that. So I was shocked by it.
Wow.
Very funny tattoo though of him having the winning. I was like, that's okay. I had no idea that was his wife. I was like, what's she doing in this? I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
The fat guy that's making $500K a year just to be his friend. That he was a fun throw in.
Yeah, it's a complete mess. It's a complete train wreck. Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
What do you think about it? Okay, let me ask you, as an Italian guy, what do you think about his dad turning him in?
I mean,
Italians don't do that, dude.
They
Come
don't
on.
do that. My dad's on time. But like my dad would do the same thing.
Yeah, your
probably.
dad would, but your mom wouldn't, right?
No.
Yeah,
She would,
Italians don't do that. Italians don't turn you in. Come on.
she'd turn you. Yeah, she would turn it back on you.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a plot twist! I had no idea his name wasn't really Charlie Sheen. Like, I mean, I was shocked all over the place. It rattled me. I thought he was a funny actor the whole time. I thought he was like a comedian. I had no idea he did like serious roles.
Yeah. Damn.
Watch
There you go.
Platoon. Never seen that movie again. Holy hell, does that not make you feel good? That's all I got for you. That was my surprises. This all happened
Wait,
one night.
when did you watch Platoon? When did you watch Platoon?
Right after the doc. I
Did
was
it?
like, I should probably turn on Platoon. And I was just like, this is so
Dude.
sad.
You ever see the movie The Naked Gun?
No.
No. Okay. The movie Naked Gun is a comedy. Okay. And there's a scene in that movie where the guy who's the dummy, Leslie Nielsen, is dating Priscilla Presley. It's their first date. That's Elvis Presley's ex-wife. And they're showing their entire date. There's a music montage going out, and they're walking out of the movie theater just laughing their heads off. You know, everyone else looks kind of sad in the background. And as they walk out, you see the movie they just went to was Platoon. And you're like,
That's good.
what the hell's going on? But anyway, that's funny. I don't know. That's a great question. Is what's a movie you would never see twice? Right.
That one. And I didn't know that's what Tropic Thunder was making fun of. Like, I put that two together. I was like, oh, because the scene when he's like running, he's getting like.
Dude, I'll give you the
popped a
movie you
lot.
never see twice. You never see Marley and Me twice. That's a one time if ever movie. You never go see that movie again. Let's see Marley and Me again. Nope. We're going to see that again at all.
Interstellar, because it's so long.
Oh my God.
It's like you don't have the time.
Yeah. I think Josh made me watch that movie.
It's a good movie.
Tears of the Sun. That's a one-time watcher.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah.
All right.
Apocalypse Now is next up. I gotta watch that one.
All right. All right. We're out of here. We'll be back on Sunday right after the game. Don't forget, we're doing the post-game show. Got the cigar ready to go. Hopefully, we're talking about the Chargers being 3-0. I appreciate everyone that joined us on a Thursday, but looking forward to Sunday's big game day. Again, Chargers hosting the Denver Broncos. Hopefully, all of you will join us, and please like and subscribe to the show. So, again, for Mario Heron, Josh Pele, I'm Dave Pele. We'll see everybody Sunday.
Hey, yeah, hey, it's the boat crew, and we always winning. Hey, go against us, I don't recommend it. Hey, it's the boat crew, best up in the business. It's the boat crew, repping for the city. Macking on and off the field like Khalil Mack. They hate on us cause we keep it too real. I'm talking smack like Phil Rivers in the field. Oh, you mad again cause we kept it real? Why you mad? Hey, I'm talking smack, I feel like Uncle Dave. Hey, I bring the pain, I feel like Derwin James. I could run and gun, I feel like Herbo down the lane. I feel like LT the way I'm stiff arming these lanes. We just wanna win, we just wanna win, yeah. Ay, we just wanna win, we just wanna win, ay. Putting on for the city, putting on for the city. We just wanna win, we just wanna win, yeah.